Of all the recovery modalities in existence, massage, foam rolling, stretching, contrast baths, cold plunge, cryotherapy, there is one that trumps all of those. In fact, it's better, more powerful, more potent than all of those combined. Sleep. Today I want to give you 10 tips that might help you sleep like a baby, sleep like a rock, sleep like a log, whatever else sleeps well. These are in no particular order. In fact, I jumbled them up on purpose just to keep you wanting more. Some of these I'm sure you've heard before, but they're going to be repeated because they work. So, tip number 1, keep your room for sleeping only. Your bedroom should be your sleep chamber. It is not a work office. It's not an entertainment center. It's not a gym. Get rid of the TV in your room. No video games. No computers. No office desk. No barbell and squat rack at the foot of your bed. No nothing other than sleeping. Pavlov's theory should set in every time you step foot into your bedroom. You see your bed, you feel tired. You see your bed, you associate that with night-night. If you live in a studio apartment, there's not a whole lot you can do about this, but if you do have a separate bedroom from the rest of the house or the rest of the apartment, keep your bedroom for sleeping only. Tip number 2, stay active all day. And this is probably my biggest tip. If I could only do one tip, this would be it. Stay active physically and mentally all day. So I would say stay on your feet all day. Don't sit down unless you're working, eating, or commuting. And don't mindlessly scroll on your phone or sit and scroll through channels on your TV. Laying down at night should be a moment of relief. When I lay down every night, I let out an audible ugh. Mainly because I'm a dad and I make dad noises, but also because it feels so damn good. I've been waiting for this moment all day, or at least for the second half of my day. If you know that you live a sedentary lifestyle, try doubling your step count every day. You don't need a fancy step tracker. You don't need to look at your steps, to the exact number of steps. But just in general, try to double your steps a day if you live a pretty sedentary lifestyle. I'm not telling you to do anything crazy like start clocking in 30,000 steps a day, because that can come with its own issues. But if you're only getting 3,000 to 4,000 steps a day, which is not very much, try doubling that. If you don't sleep well at night, do not lay down and rest during the day. Light malfunction. If you don't sleep well at night, don't lay down and rest during the day. Don't lay down on the couch. Don't flop down on the recliner and watch TV. Don't take naps. Don't take naps. Don't take naps. Don't lay down on your living room floor and surf on your phone. Don't lay down on your garage floor or wherever else you want to lay down. Save all of that tiredness for the evening time when you're supposed to go to bed. If you work a desk job and you can't really help the fact that you're pretty sedentary, get up every hour on the hour and walk for 5 minutes. So work for 55 minutes, walk for 5 minutes. Every hour on the hour. That's 40 minutes of extra walking each day in an 8-hour day. You could get a couple of miles walking in 40 minutes. If you can, try commuting to work on your bike. Try commuting to the gym. If you have a public transportation system in your city, use that. When I lived in DC, we would walk all over the place. You had to walk to the metro station. It was faster than driving. You'd stand on the metro train as it drove around. You'd walk to your connecting train, and then you walk to your other destination. Basically, these are all ways to just get more activity in throughout your day. When I say stay active, I don't mean you have to be hiking all day or you have to be working out in the gym for 4 hours. Just try to get more steps in throughout the day. So this goes beyond just being physically active all day. You need to be mentally active all day. Give your brain something to do. Don't doom scroll on your phone. Don't mindlessly surf through channels on the TV. Give yourself something to do. Give your brain something to do. Honestly, coloring in a coloring book would be a better option than just scrolling on your phone for 30 minutes. If you live a pretty simple lifestyle and you don't have a whole lot to do, you just can't find things to do during the day, you can find things to do if you try hard enough. Go outside and do some yard work. Go start a garden. Get a hobby. Start a YouTube channel and figure out how to edit videos. Take photos and learn how to edit photos. Play some music. Play an instrument. Buy a skateboard. Buy some rollerblades. Buy a bike. Just learn something new. Figure out a way to keep yourself busy throughout the day. Tip number 3, black out your room. Your room should be pitch black. No light coming in the windows. No moonlight coming in. No light from passing cars. no light from street lights, no electronic lights inside of your room, pitch black. Get yourself some blackout curtains to go over your windows. We close our eyes at night to try to block out all stimulation so our body can fully rest. If your eyes are being poked with light, you might not fall asleep as well, or you might not stay asleep as well as if you were sleeping in a blacked out sleep chamber. Blackout curtains can help enhance your sleep chamber. Also, make sure your room is cool. Make sure your bed sheets are cool. Make sure your pillow is cool. Make sure you are cool. If you tend to run hot, you might find that taking a cold shower before you go to bed helps you fall asleep a little bit faster. The lower your body temperature is, the easier it is to fall asleep. Tip number 4, no social media or TVs in the evening. Social media and our phones have completely destroyed our ability to just be here, to just exist, to just sit here with my own thoughts. It has ruined our ability to deal with boredom. It's okay to be bored sometimes. When raising my kids, I used to think that they always had to be stimulated. They always had to have something to do. They always had to be entertained. Always have something in their hands. That's not the case. They can learn, they need to learn how to be bored, how to deal with boredom, how to not have something right in front of them, to find something to do. And if, with time, they might not like it at first, but when they have nothing to do, they'll find something to do. They'll bend down and play with the grass. They'll find a bug to follow. They'll count their steps and see how many steps it takes to go across the front yard. And as adults, I think we need to relearn how to be bored too. It's not always a bad thing. You don't need constant stimulation and entertainment from your phone and TVs. It's almost like filler for some people. As soon as there's something that's not happening, check the phone. Not happening, check the phone. I know a lot of people struggle at night to fall asleep because they've got so much on their mind. They've got so much that they're worried about, so much to think about, and they can't quiet their minds. I think that if you give yourself more time throughout the day to just be with your thoughts, to think about things, to process things, maybe give yourself time to think about emotions that'll eventually just leave because that's what happens. I think you'd be better off and you'd be able to sleep a little bit better at night if you give yourself time to just be with your thoughts. Watching your phone or watching TV all the time is a distraction. You might think, oh, this is my me time, I'm just sitting here by myself. But you're not. You're giving yourself to this phone or this TV, and at night you're just filling your head with more stuff when you should be emptying your mind of things. Tip number 5, get a white noise machine. These are typically for babies, but they can be just as effective for adults. I think that a white noise machine is better than a white noise app on your phone because I don't think your phone belongs in your sleep chamber. But a white noise machine that you plug in or battery powered can be adjusted, the volume up and down. It can be adjusted more aggressive noise or softer noise. You could even change the noise that it makes on some of the machines. But a white noise machine does a great job of quieting your mind, and it blocks out any noise outside of your bedroom, which is really helpful if you live in a big city or a noisy neighborhood. A white noise machine feels like, if you've never used one, it feels like you're in a vortex and you kind of just disappear and melt into your bed. So white noise machine, I'd highly suggest getting one. Number 6, let your world get smaller and smaller and smaller by the end of the day. This sort of goes along with point number 4 of no social media and no TVs at night. I think of my phone as a way to stay connected to everyone and everything. I'm just a phone call or a text or maybe even a FaceTime away from Omar Isaf, who's 2,500 miles away from me. I can just press a button and boom, there's Omar, I can talk to him. I could go on my phone and look at GoPro footage of a war happening across the world. I could get live updates of any current events going on. I am connected to all of planet Earth on my phone. In fact, I could go look at live space footage, so I could go beyond my own planet. I'm always connected to everything and everyone. Anyone can contact me. I'm just a phone call, just a text away, just an email away, just a Facebook message away, just an Instagram DM away. So I'm always connected with everyone. And even beyond my phone, I could go watch a movie, any movie I want, any movie at all. I'm not limited to which VHS tapes I have. Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus. I could go watch a movie that's beyond my wildest imagination, beyond what I could even think in my own head. And I think about how life was 100 years ago when we didn't have all that. You were just limited to what's directly in front of you. So, staying light. Anyway, so 100 years ago, I might have, as the sun goes down, I'm just limited to what's in front of me. So all I could do is really just talk to my family, maybe my neighbors. As they went to bed, there's just not a whole lot to do. So everything does get smaller and smaller and smaller as the day goes on. And I try to remember that each day, and I try to implement that to where, hey, I shut my phone off, I shut my computer down, you can't contact me, I can't watch this, I can't see this. I'm just limited to what's in front of me, what's in my house. And a lot of times, there's not a whole lot to do at night. So you have nothing better to do but to go to bed. Number 7, a lot of people are not gonna like this, stop drinking caffeine. So people say they drink caffeine to keep them up. I gotta drink caffeine to get through the day because I don't sleep well at night. The caffeine might be helping you stay up throughout the day, but it is also could be the cause of why you're tired and lethargic because you're not sleeping well at night. You might be drinking, I know firsthand people that drink 3, 4 energy drinks a day, 300 milligrams a pop. They just drink energy drinks all throughout the day and they don't sleep well at night. I think a lot of people need to just embrace the suck of getting rid of caffeine for a week and see if that improves your sleep at all. I think it'll positively impact your sleep. I'll have a little bit of mercy. You can have 1 caffeinated beverage a day, and you don't have to listen to me. I'm just some dude on YouTube. But I think that 1 caffeinated beverage a day in the morning, I would prefer coffee or tea rather than a 300 milligram energy drink or double scoop of pre-workout. But again, you can make that decision for yourself. After you have that morning hit of caffeine, shut it down. You don't need caffeine at lunch. You don't need caffeine before your late afternoon workout. You do not need caffeine before your evening workout. People drink caffeine before their evening workout because they want a 10% bump in performance. Not realizing that 10% bump in performance is outweighed or overpowered by the 15 or 20% reduction in sleep quality because you drink that caffeine. You are not going into a competition. You are just going to exercise. That's all you're doing. You're just working out and exercising. It is not a competition. I think a lot of this stems from maybe gym culture of people just pre-workout and lifting weights. It just goes hand in hand. Or what I think it is a lot of performance anxiety or just being so centered on numbers. Performance numbers based. I gotta hit 350 for 5 today and I'm just not feeling it. Gotta take some caffeine so I can do this. It's just exercising. It's just working out. You don't need a hit of caffeine every time. Sure, if you want to take some caffeine for a big session or maybe a really important session, but you do not need caffeine for every single workout that you do. And if you're not working out that day, maybe you don't need caffeine at all. So people will say, yeah, I drink caffeine before the gym so I can lift weights and Hulk out, but you also drink caffeine, the same amount of caffeine when you're not working out. So it doesn't really make sense to me. Some people can't even fathom going to the gym and working out without pre-workout. And if that's you, I challenge you to reprogram yourself to be able to exercise without caffeine. It's not mandatory. You don't need pre-workout before you lift weights. Not being able to exercise without caffeine is like not being able to have sex without Viagra. Okay, let's move on. Number 8, your phone does not enter your sleep chamber. Leave your phone in another room. If you use your phone for an alarm clock to wake you up, buy a plug-in alarm clock or a battery-powered alarm clock. Or just have the discipline to bring your phone in your room, set it down, and leave it. Do not lay down in bed and scroll through your phone. Before you know it, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 90 minutes, however long you guys scroll on your phones, is just gone. This dang light, all right, I'll get it in a minute, is gone before you know it. That's quality time that you could have spent trying to fall asleep. Scrolling on your phone while laying in bed should be completely avoided for reasons that I've already talked about in this video. It is stimulating your eyes and your brain, which is the last thing, the opposite that you want to have happen when you're trying to relax and fall asleep. Tip number 9, stretch, meditate, or pray before bed. If all these tips, all these 8 tips that I've given you so far still don't help and you're still struggling to fall asleep, maybe you need a designated sleeping warm-up routine. Take 5 to 15 minutes to relax your mind and relax your body, and that might be enough to prep you for a restful night of sleep. It can also be a time to help you mentally file away your thoughts so you can kind of process this stuff. If you have so many thoughts going on in your head, your to-do list is just overwhelming, and you're sitting in bed thinking about that, maybe jot it down on paper so it's out of your head and on paper, or start doing a diary to where you just kind of freeform Just write down your thoughts and how you're feeling, whatever else. Get it out of your head onto paper so that it's not bothering you before you go to bed, or it's not waking you up in the middle of the night because you're thinking about things. Tip number 10, this is quite a few tips in one. Avoid extreme eating habits. Don't overeat at night. Don't overstuff yourself. It's easy for all of us, but once you've finished your day of hard work, it's easy to just let loose and binge and just eat until you're fat and happy and content. But doing so might leave you tossing and turning at night. You might have acid reflux, or because you're so overstuffed, you might get up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. So eat a normal sized meal and call it a night. I'll say that again, eat a normal sized meal and call it a night. So on the other end of that, don't starve yourself either. Eat a meal before you go to bed. I don't know if any of you watching this do that, but don't starve yourself because you're trying to lose weight. Don't go to bed on an empty, rumbling stomach. Eat some food. Bonus tip, your daily water consumption should be viewed as a funnel. So the majority of your water intake is in the morning. And then as the day goes on, you start to need to drink less and less water. I would suggest cutting off water completely before dinner. Don't get to the end of the night or the end of the day and say to yourself, I didn't drink very much water today. I'm a little dehydrated. Let me hydrate. Let me pound some water. You're going to wake up in the middle of the night having to pee. So try cutting your water off a little earlier in the day. Some rapid fire bonus tips. Stop drinking alcohol. Stop smoking cigarettes. Both of those things can reduce your sleep quality, especially the deep sleep. Don't be overweight. Whether it's muscle or fat, I don't care if you're bulking. Don't be grossly overweight. It can affect your sleep quality. Do some cardio. Cardio might help lower your resting heart rate or lower your resting blood pressure, which could help you sleep better. Now, all of these tips might do nothing for you because you need some medical intervention. You might have sleep apnea. I know when I was in the Marine Corps, so imagine you're in Marine Corps boot camp, just how exhausted you'd be by the end of the day, how tired you would be. So I'm sleeping in my rack, and at the time I was bunked next to this other recruit. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and this guy's doing something in his rack. He's like messing with his gear, and he's kind of like talking to himself. And I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? Fall asleep. Every night I'd wake up and I'd hear him talking, and he'd see me wake up and he'd start talking to me. Oh, hey, Thrall, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you not sleeping right now? And he said, oh, I usually get about an hour sleep a night, but I don't sleep. I don't sleep at night. Never have. I don't know how that got past his recruiter. He should probably not be in the Marine Corps, but he's an insomniac. So if you have insomnia, yeah, you need to look past YouTube tips to get some help. And on top of that, this light, forget it. On top of that, you might just live a lifestyle that does not suit good sleeping patterns. If you are on call, if you are a cop or a firefighter and you're getting woken up at night, not a whole lot you can do about that. If you work shift work, night work, swing shift, day shift, and it's always rotating, it might be hard to establish a pattern, a sleeping pattern, or your whatever else. So your lifestyle might need to change a little bit. That's it. Thanks for watching, and always remember, tread on time.